Right now, I think we could give this a bit more oxygen, this conversation, because it is such an important one. It's not just in reference to Grenfell Tower and whether the survivors there should be given more than what I think is the rather paltry 12 months offered by the government, a 12-month immigration amnesty. Also, I think broaden it out a little, and to what extent you think we should be looking for those people who've lived and worked in this country illegally for many years, whether perhaps we should start to think of giving them an amnesty, or do you think that would encourage others? Such an important question right now, not just in this country but in Europe, as we deal with mass migration, mass attempts by refugees, either for economic reasons or reasons of war, trying to get into this continent. And I want to know where you stand on it all. If you believe some, there's beginning to be a bit of a split, or maybe not even just beginning, to be a split between Eastern Europe and Western Europe as far as attitudes towards border controls are concerned. And I'd be interested to hear your view. Let's go first, I think, to Con in Harrow. Morning to you, Con.
I don't really take political sides. I go a bit beyond that. I'm looking at like how we administer things from a humanistic kind of viewpoint. But what I'd like to say about the people who are calling in about this issue about people from Grenfell Towers who may or may not be alive or dead, who may or may not be illegal immigrants, is that, first of all, whoever was in that building at the time was in the care of the local council, because they're the owners of the building. By extension, they're in the care of the state. So that's a fact. As to who was an illegal immigrant, at the moment, that's all hypothetical. Second, there's enough evidence in the public domain to suggest that corporate manslaughter charges are certainly to be investigated. And if we wait until the inquest and we find out that there are corporate manslaughter charges, well, then I'd ask people to think, which is the greater crime? Being an illegal immigrant or being in charge of a civic or national governance when that can happen and there's a corporate manslaughter? And then the last part is like, we're just really human, but us small people on the street, we're mostly lovely human beings everywhere in the world and dealing with difficult stuff. There are lovely people in Gaza dealing with that. You know, there's lovely people dealing with all kinds of stuff. And we owe it to each other just when something like that happens to say, look, we'll take care of you.
Con, I agree with you. I really do. On that last point, that we do owe it to those who survived Grenfell Tower. We owe it to them to say, look, we look after you. This is what the British state is capable of. We are capable of, unfortunately, allowing a situation like that inferno to take place in 2017. But we are also able to say, OK, we're going to stand up now and be counted and say, even if you are here illegally, you can stay.